I'm Greg Watson. I'm here for Landlord's Link, your one-stop property management company here in Whanganui. And I'm not here to talk about us today. I'm here to talk about the latest Real Estate Institute figures, plus a little bit of news around what's happening around Whanganui and area with regards to real estate. So let's have a look. This month, the monthly property report came out relating to the figures for Manawatu Whanganui for March. So this is March, where most of March was a fairly ordinary month up until COVID-19 started. If we look at the median house prices, all of the areas with the R's beside them are record median prices. Manawatu Whanganui, new record 431,250. So what's been happening with the market? Well, leading up to that stage, and in the last 12 months, if you own a property in Whanganui or around Whanganui, the average median house price has gone up 28.7%, incredible 28.7%. It's likely to continue rising, and I'm going to show you why that's going to be the case. Not necessarily rising to the same levels, but the market should go up quite nicely in the next 12 months. I just wanted to show you more specifically on a PDF file, if I can just bring that up here. There we go. What I've done is I've got a document here, and if you want it, just contact myself, Greg, or Tracy at Landlord's Link, and we can send you some of these details relating just to Whanganui, Manawatu Whanganui. So probably the one that I like to compare is this seasonally adjusted median price and the median change when compared to this time last year. So you can see there that's the 28.7% in Manawatu Whanganui. Bindi Norwell had the following comments to say that yes, we achieved the record, but she said additionally the Horowhenua and Whanganui districts both saw record medians. So Whanganui 352,560 really has moved significantly in the last 12 months. Moving on from that, some other figures that are just of general interest. Properties are selling quicker, although the number of properties selling is fewer, generally speaking. So you can see the figures here. Just make that slightly larger for you. Again, the median price, you can see this March compared to last March. Look at Whanganui there, up from 265 to 352. Really incredible change. And there's the percentages, 33% increase in the Whanganui district. 1/3. So that equity that's building in your properties can be used actually to buy more investment properties, of course. From the Chronicle, the COVID-19, just a little bit of news now. The senior economist Brad Olsen says that Whanganui is well positioned to weather the storm, and I absolutely agree with this. He says it's going to feel the effects of a global recession, but it's positioned better than many other regions, and the Manawatu Whanganui in general is very strong here. So he said that not all regions in the country would be impacted equally, and that there is more resilience in the regional centres like Whanganui. He said if we look at Whanganui area more broadly, Whanganui doesn't have the same level of tourism exposure to start with, and local tourism is much more focused on domestic tourism, which has a better ability to bounce back faster. And at the same time, the primary sector provides strength to the local area. Just interestingly, the largest sector of the local workforce was in healthcare and social assistance, and expected that to remain relatively stable. Goes on to say that one of the areas Whanganui is very well positioned for is the education and training element. And as we come through the relatively rapid economic shifts, we're going to see a lot more people out of work. There's going to be a real focus in training and education to get people back into work. Whanganui is very well positioned for that. He does say that it's going to be tough for a number of businesses, and some will weather the storm better than others. Infometrics modelling, according to Whanganui and Partners Chief Executive Mark Ward, shows that 78% of our workforce are able to operate under level 3 restrictions compared to the national average of 74%, and that's good for the region, and it allows us to get the economy moving sooner than most other regions. While making most of the advantages like this, it'll help Whanganui stand out as a visitor, lifestyle and business destination once the public health crisis subsides. So really good to hear that. Also in the news, just a reminder that Main Street Whanganui urges support for businesses shopping local has never been more of a focus now, and that's something that's been in this article that was in the Chronicle. Again, just community support. Please support local businesses because it helps reinvigorate the economy, which is good for all of us. Main Street Whanganui had kept the CBD clean and tidy throughout level 4, and now that alert level 3 is in effect, the General Manager has said he and his office team are keen to help central business as much as possible. So there's a few shops that have opened and they're doing great business. There are a few that aren't allowed to open just yet, but please just support our local businesses, as it goes a long way to boosting our economy in total. So what's going to happen in the near future with regards to the market in Whanganui? As I mentioned, there's enough going on, and as was mentioned in the article, that prices are going to continue going upwards. Whanganui is extremely affordable from a national standpoint, and with the LVR ratings make it easier to lend money now, people can move to Whanganui and get a fantastic home, or investors are looking. Tracy Onishenko from Landlord Link tells me that the investors are really looking. She's worked with a number of buyers from out of town. So there's a large forestry project, of course, and this was reported in the paper end of April. Doing the controlled burn of what was basically a lot of gorse. They're going to be replanting that largely in native and deciduous trees, and in terms of one area to make for a nice entrance on State Highway 4, but then in the other area there'll be redwood and cypresses for eventual logging. So the great thing is that land at the moment was just unproductive, and that's going to be turning into a productive thing, which means jobs for people working in that area. So that's good, and it might even bring more people into town. In other news, the council approves a residential expansion west of Springvale. So this happened during the lockdown on level 4, and they've given it the go ahead. So this is fantastic news. Really, it's in the area which I'll show you soon, new housing, the Mostyn Road, Fox Road, Fitzherbert Avenue sort of areas. And the plan has proposed high quality urban environment, walkable neighbourhoods and streets well connected to public spaces, and a shared cycleway network linking to schools and adjacent areas. So really good. And the Mayor says that the purpose of the plan is to meet the projected housing demand out to 2020. Oh, sorry, 2065, sorry. So for the next 45 years. So let's have a look at the area we're talking about. So there's a suburb of Springvale. We're really looking at this area out here, which in the context of the overall size of Whanganui is a significant way to expand, and you can see that there. So, and again, that's outlined in the here from the district plan changes that were at the Whanganui District Council. And there's a document that can be downloaded, which was this one here, the Springvale Structure Plan. If you just go to the Whanganui District Council, you can download a comprehensive document around the plan. Bearing in mind, a lot of what was mentioned in this plan was the proposals, and quite how that's hammered out. You'd probably need to talk to them for specific details of what's happening near your home. But here's the yellow here. The yellow line is the proposed it's now been accepted, urban expansion area, subject to possibly slight change. You need to ask the council on that, but it's really good size here. If we look on this map, you can see the section size average then allows for some really good expansion through here as well. Expansion of the road through Fitzherbert Avenue, I think that is. If it's not, I apologise. So they've also put, as part of this plan, they put a phasing plan, which is really the order in which developments happen. So they start with this first bit here, move to the second bit, third bit, and they propose that they do it in a particular order. There's usually good reasons for that. That may change. So here we can see the land style uses. It's a little bit hard to read. The bright yellow along the fringe here is lifestyle. The light orange, for lack of a better description, is what they call medium density. And then this branch here, the darker, is medium to high density. Red is retail or local shops, and green, of course, open spaces. So that's an interesting layout there. I thought I might just share that with you. one of the questions from the frequently asked questions around the plan estimates around 600 houses to be built, so that's great. 600 new families, one would hope. A minimum lot size of 400 square metres. And there was something else I wanted to mention on here. Oh yes, so when can you have your say? This is possibly an old document now, so check with the council, but that has been given the go-ahead. That notwithstanding, there's also quite a lot of other things happening in the region, and the District Council has said that there's actually $260 million worth of infrastructure-ready projects, shovel-ready projects, I should say. In other words, hands-on ground, jobs, work for people, and it's really great. So the Mayor has said that at least 12 Whanganui projects have been submitted to the Infrastructure Industry Reference Group, and who is the task force by the government that's seeking out what they call shovel-ready infrastructure projects. So things that can be done straight away to create jobs and so forth. So what have they mentioned specifically in here is the $43 million spend on bridges, including Dublin Street and Wakefield Street bridges, 23 million on roading projects, including traffic management upgrades and shared pathways, 158 million for water, wastewater and stormwater asset renewal and upgrades, and 35 million for other projects. So that's what they're seeking. There's also velodrome roofing and a suite of upgrade projects at Whanganui Airport. So the Mayor says that while the impact of our efforts locally and globally to prevent the transmission of COVID-19 will have far-reaching economic effects, we do have an opportunity here to really fast-track some of our projects with the government's support. That's all looking really good for keeping those prices increasing. It's not ideal for those of you looking to buy, but remember, the government has temporarily taken away the LVR restrictions, make it easier for banks to lend. There's no better time to revisit going to the bank if you're looking at buying a home to see what they can now do. The deposits needed aren't necessarily as big as what you think and as big as what they were even a couple of weeks ago. So I'm Greg Watson. I've just been reporting for Landlord's Link. This is our Facebook page. Just look up Landlord's Link. We've got the logo there. You'll be able to find us. Join us on the page so that we can bring to you the latest in news and real estate that's happening here in Whanganui. If you have any inquiries about property management, Tracy Yanashenko is the person to chat to here at Landlord's Link. Thank you so much for watching.